Hello, Maurieo. In this video, I'm going to be looking at how to create a wipeout. So first of all, let's get some data up here. So I'm going to do that by just turning off my title there and turning on some data. Here we have a typical little survey situation. These lines here that I've got shown here are typically like boundary lines or traverse lines. They've got a bearing and distance. Here in this case the bearing is 53 degrees 52.44 and the distance is 1400, and this one here is 127.31.56 and the length is 1400, and so on. Now typically what we like to do is to put a little what we call a peg symbol or a survey mark symbol over the mark, and we like to have that center of it clear. So obviously the typical thing that you might do here is trim it. So I'll just reiterate again here that that's a length of 1400 and so on. So if I trim it, which I'm just going to type in TR into the command line and double hit enter, and I should be able to, oh, that didn't quite work according to plan. TR, double hit enter, and it'll take those out like so, and then just end that situation there with a space bar or whatever. Now if we do that, what we see is that our distances have changed. We don't want that because we want to retain our distances. So I'm just going to do Control Z and put that back to there. So what we need is to maintain the lines but have a clear center to our peg, and the way we do that is with a wipeout. So how to create a wipeout? Well, there's a wipeout command, and the wipeout command requires a polyline, and then it will wipe out anything within the polyline. So first thing we need to do is create a polyline around there, and I do that with the rectangle tool up here, well actually the polygon tool, which is on the same button, and I typically use a 50-sided polygon, so I'm going for 50 sides. It may be a bit of overkill, but nevertheless, and then I center my polygon on here, and then I have a circumscribed circle there, and then I usually know what my radius is, or I can just fit it in there like that. So I've created on top of the initial circle that I had there as my peg symbol, I now have a polygon which essentially is circumscribed, and it has the same radius. So now comes to the wipeout. So I just go to the command line and type wipeout. Okay, it is available in the GUI there somewhere, I'm not quite sure. So I type wipeout and it says polyline down here, bottom. So I say yes for polyline, and select a closed polyline, which I know is there because I've just put it there. And do I want to erase the polyline? Yeah, I do. I don't want the polyline there, I want the circle. So I just type yes to that in the command line, and there's my wipeout. It's all done there, and we can see that there's our line underneath with the length still intact and the same bearing and distance. That's our wipeout. Now obviously we have a number of different pegs and things like that, so we can use it elsewhere. So I'm going to either select it, copy it from the middle, and pop it over there like so. Alright, now sometimes when you do your wipeout, you might find that lines still sit above it, or you draw other lines, so you don't forget that you've got the draw order function. So if we go, for instance, here, oops, I seem to have moved that. If we go select that here and go to the draw order and send it to the back, you can see that the line will sit on top of it. But if you pop in here, go to your draw order, and bring it to the front. Of course, there you go, there's your little wipeout with your pegs going with your traverse lines into the centre of your peg. All very nice and how we want it. So, there you go, Maurieo's wipeout.